Hello, hello, hello. So, on today's menu is a dessert called Limber de Morir Soñando. It's a recipe I found online and I thought it looked really good. I actually saw it on Instagram, somebody was doing it, and I was able to go to the person's page and click on the recipe, and it was there. And I said, you know what, I can do this, but I'm gonna tweak it. Of course, I'm gonna replace some of the ingredients to make it a little bit healthier, especially for those people that have some health conditions, but they still want to be able to enjoy a good dessert. Well, this is for you then. So today on the menu is Limber de Morir Soñando. Translated, it's, a creamsicle or an ice, a creamy ice, titled Morir Soñando, meaning dying while dreaming. That's really what it is. Where the name comes from, I don't know. This is really based on a Dominican drink. It's very popular. Morir Soñando is a popular Dominican drink. I had never heard of it probably until maybe in my early 20s, because it's not something that's staple in our home. Uh, Maybe now it is, but when I was growing up, being Puerto Rican, it was not something that we drank. It was not typical for us. Ponche was a typical thing for us. But in any case, I want to give it a try. I know it's really good. And in all sincerity, I think the last time I had a Morir Soñando was maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, because again, it's not typical. But we're going to make this. It looks good. I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to read to you the ingredients, okay? And then I'm going to show you what I have available to substitute. So the ingredients consist of 2 cups of passion fruit juice, 1 cup of fresh squeezed orange juice, 1 cup of passion fruit pulp without seeds, 1 cup of evaporated milk, 1 cup of condensed milk, 2 tablespoons of clear vanilla extract, half a cup of granulated sugar, or to taste, meaning you add as much as you want, half a cup of ice, 1 teaspoon of orange extract, and orange slices for garnishment. That is an option. So what I do is I replaced just a few of the ingredients. Okay, so the 2 cups of passion fruit, I'm going to do the passion fruit, but I'm going to do it fresh, okay, with the fruit. So I'm going to take this out. This is passion fruit, what we call parcha. This is what we know it as. Other countries have different names for passion fruit in Spanish. I think in DR they call it, I think it's maracuya. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I should have looked it up. I didn't, but I think that's what it's called over there. You're going to need 1 cup of evaporated milk. So I chose to use evaporated coconut milk. It has a thicker texture, slightly, not by a lot, just slightly thicker, which will help to make the limber creamier. Okay, and then you're also going to need 1 cup of condensed milk. So again, I'm using coconut condensed milk, okay, and then the evaporated coconut milk. Okay, you don't have to do that, but if you want to tweak it, make it a little healthier, you can do that. 2 tablespoons of clear vanilla extract, and I'm using bourbon vanilla. It's a little bit more bolder, has a better taste to it. And then you can add orange extract, which you should be able to see right here. It's orange flavoring extract, okay? And you're gonna need a cup of sugar, granulated sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar. I don't use regular sugar. When I'm baking, I'll use raw sugar or cane sugar. That's rare, but most of the time I use a sugar substitute, and I use monk fruit, which I have right here, but I'm using allulose monk fruit. It's already in my jar, and it has a lighter taste to it versus the regular monk fruit, and it is even healthier than the regular monk fruit. So that's what I'm using. These are my substitutes. And for the orange juice, I have fresh oranges here, which I'm going to be peeling and juicing to be able to use for this. And of course, you need your blender. So those are the things that you're going to need. I am going to put the link that I found in the bio so you guys can click on it, and this person can get a lot of credit for it, because I think they did a really good job with this Limber de Morir Soñando. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes and we'll be ready to begin, okay? Alright, so I'm almost done squeezing my orange juice. So I am using a filter. The reason why is because I'm not really big on the pulp. It doesn't say you have to do that, not for the orange juice. But, you know, if you're not a fan of the pulp, then you can do that. Now, I will tell you the pulp has a lot of fiber, a lot of fiber, a lot of health nutrients. So it's advisable to drink it with the pulp. Alright, so we'll be ready in another 5 minutes or so to begin blending everything together. Alright, so now we're moving on to the patacha. We're almost there. Let's see how the inside looks. Nice, really cool, huh? It's really good. So we're going to take out the inside, we're going to take out the seeds and just grab from the inside and put it in our little bowl there and then add it to the mixture. This is really pretty, oh my goodness, and it smells so good. It smells phenomenal. You can see it. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so now we're ready to blend everything together. We have all of our ingredients, and essentially we're ready to go. So, let me show you what the pulp strings look like. Now it's supposed to be without seeds, however, I decided to keep the seeds. It'll blend just fine in the blender with everything else. So the very first thing you're going to put together and you're going to put in the following order are the juices, the sugars, okay, the extracts, and the pulp. Following that comes your coconut milk and your condensed milk. So let's begin. I'm going to start first with putting my 2 cups of patacha. Now, this is passion fruit juice, no sugar at all. You can get it in the frozen section. Okay, so you have to put this plus the pulp that you see there. So it calls for 2 cups of the passion fruit juice, and again, there is no sugar in this, it's bland. Now the fruit and the pulp, when you taste it, oh, it's tart plus it's sweet. Okay, you are supposed to have a full cup, but I'm not going to do that, so I have almost like a half a cup in there. And then we're going to add the fresh squeezed orange juice. Alright, I'm only going to add half right now because I want to get my sugar in. There we go. Okay, this calls for the 1 cup, and again, I'm using the monk fruit. I'm not using granulated sugar. Okay, now for your evaporated milk and your condensed milk, okay, it only calls for 1 cup of the evaporated milk and 1 cup of the condensed milk. So you can put it in a measuring cup if you want, or you can eye it, you know, as we would do, depending on the size of the can. But we're not going to even put that in yet, okay? That comes second because we have to blend this first. All right, I'm just letting you know. So the next step is, in reality, it's the 2 tablespoons of vanilla. You can use regular vanilla. I'm using bourbon vanilla extract. It's a little bit stronger. Okay. Of course, for 2 tablespoons of that. And then you're only going to put 1 teaspoon of your orange extract. You know, you can add as much as you want, honestly. You know, it all depends on what you're using. Because I'm using coconut milk, right, as the replacement, rather coconut evaporated milk and coconut condensed milk, I don't want it to have that heavy coconut taste, so instead of adding 1 teaspoon of the orange extract, I'm going to add 2. And just let's see how it goes. It might work out great that way. Let's see. And then we'll blend it. Okay. I'm still trying to figure this out. Hold on. All right, and I'm just going to do puree. And I want to be able to get those seeds in taken care of, so I'm going to actually click on smoothie. And that's it. Okay, so I don't want to overdo it. Now we're going to add next our milks. Okay. Again, I'm still trying to get used to this. It's like a pain in the rear to take off the cover every time. So, I guess because I don't use it as often as I'm supposed to, so it sort of gets tight in that area. Alright, so again, you can use a measuring cup and put your 1 cup, or you can eye it, and I think I'm just going to eye it a little bit. Your sweetened condensed milk. Okay, this can is 11 ounces. So we only need 1 cup. Okay. There we go. Which is 8 ounces. So I'm sort of playing with it a little bit, maybe a tad bit more. There we go. And the rest we can save and use it for a different ingredient. Or a different, pastry or dessert. Okay, and then we're going to add our evaporated coconut milk. Again, you can eye it. This is a 12-ounce can. I'm just going to eye it a little bit. Let's see. Add a little bit more. Add a more, and I think we're good with our 1 cup measurement. So there we go. We're going to close it up, and then we're going to blend again for a few more seconds, and then we will be ready to freeze it. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. Trabaja cuando se le dé la gana con trabajar. Let's resume. Just gonna do it on puree. I think that's what I want to do. I'll do it for like 12 seconds. Put it on low. Pulse. That one's not the one I wanted. Got it. Here we go. There we go, we're done. And we're going to come back, we're going to pour it, and I'll show you what else you can add on here. Alright, so our mixture is ready. We're going to pour it into these cups. Now, I'm using 9-ounce cups. That's what I'm using. I believe the recipe calls for 8 6-ounce cups, but I'm not using that. I'm using the 9-ounce cups because that's what works for me. I should be able to fill 4 cups for the 9 ounces. So hopefully that works. Let's see. Let's see how it smells. Ooh, it smells good. Let me stir it a little bit. Okay. Now you're going to put this in the freezer for 1 to 2 hours. Okay? You want the mixture to settle. You don't want it to freeze all the way. You want it to settle, and then you're going to add your popsicle sticks. Okay? You have a choice. You can add your popsicle sticks. If you don't want to use the sticks, then you can use a cover. Okay, after the first to second hour, what you're gonna do is you're gonna insert the popsicle sticks. By that time, the mixture should be settled. It shouldn't be that loose. And then you'll leave it there for an additional 4 hours. Okay, you can also leave it there overnight. If you leave it there overnight, it'll be even better for you. So we're gonna put this in the freezer for 1 to 2 hours. We're then gonna put the popsicle sticks in, and then we're going to leave it there overnight, and let's see how it turns out in the morning. All this to say that you have a new version of Limber de Morir Soñando, and this is slightly healthier than the original recipe. It's great for kids, it's great for adults who have health problems. Super healthy, high in vitamin C from both the baracha and the fresh squeezed orange juice, and high in amino acids because of your coconut milk. Okay, so enjoy. Let me know how it turns out, and I'm going to let you know how mine turns out as well. All right, and we're back. So yesterday we worked on the Limber de Morir Soñando, and I said I would put it in the freezer and take it out when it was ready. And so I did it in 2 ways. I did one with the stick, and then I did one without the stick. So that means you can eat it in the cup with a spoon, or eat it like a regular ice cream on the stick. So this is what it looks like. You can see the grinded seeds there, right? And then this is the one I did with the cup. So I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna see how it comes out. Hopefully it didn't stick to the point that I can't take it out. Let's hope. So I'm gonna squeeze it a little bit here. I don't want it to pop out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. It worked. See. Okay. And here we are. Here's what it looks like. Now, what does it taste like? I'm going to tell you now, but in the meantime, I'm going to put this right back. And I took out the cover of the standalone. And you can add orange slices to it if you want. You can actually zest an orange, garnish it a little bit more. If you want that bitter orange flavor, you can do that. That's not something that interests me, but I think you get the idea. So, yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm going to put this one back in the freezer, but as you can see, this looks really good. And I'm going to get started on the other one. I'm going to see how it tastes. I'm going to be honest with you, whether it tastes good, it doesn't taste good. I'm going to tell you. Hopefully it tastes good. I think it does. Now, yesterday when I did the batter, what I did was I forgot to put the ice. But as soon as I was pouring the batter into the cups, I remembered. And what I did was I put it back in the blender and I added the ice. And thank God I did, because I had a little bit left over to drink. And it was so good, but if I hadn't put the ice in, then it was guaranteed to be way too strong. Just too much tart and too much sweetness. So the ice is a big important part of this. So I'm confident this is going to come out really, really good. Vamos a ver. Oh my goodness. Y bien que sí. This tastes phenomenal. It tastes delicious. Remember, I did this organic, so you're getting all the right sugars, not the bad sugars. You're getting high doses of vitamin C from the baracha, from the organic oranges. You're getting your amino acids, your chain acids from your coconut milk and your sweetened condensed milk. This is absolutely delicious. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and until next time.